And hello there, this is DrIzixs with my monthly update video sort of thing. Just figured I'd just toss up a good old Roman Empire here to see how, to give you guys something to look at while I chat up for a bit. And talk about various things. So I guess the first thing I want to do is actually get the show timeline thing rolling. Minx, if you're watching this at some point, it's the little button up here, the little eyeball here. And you can go and just click that. If you, I believe you have to have Mary Nordstrom for this, but anyway, go ahead and turn that on slow. And so we can slowly watch Aragon do its thing as I did it. Anyway, so first off, I'd like to thank you guys for checking out Stellar Renaissance so far. It's a lot of work to sort of edit together, do all the maps, all that fun stuff. But I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I do kind of like being a storyteller. I'll make a little bit more on that later. The general plan there is that I'll do a vid about Stellar Renaissance every couple weeks. Feel free to either in those videos, in the comments, or here, like ask questions, do suggestions, anything like that. And I'll see what I can do to sort of answer questions. Some things I won't answer because that's stuff I have planned for like later video, like, there's sort of a lot to this universe I'm sort of trying to convey, and I'm going to sort of do a series of vids that are sort of focused, like the current first couple here, on some big event, a conflict or a massive social change or other sort of important periods in the history of the Stellar Renaissance universe. That said, I guess I got sort of a couple folks wondering in some of the comments in the other vid about a few specific things, like cyber warfare, internet, that sort of stuff. The internet is still obviously around in the 2040s there, though given the state of the world, it's not exactly the most reliable, especially if you're trying to get internet services outside your home country. And so, it's there, but very little bit less interconnected as the conflicts and such in the Stellar Renaissance universe start picking up. There is, of course, cyber warfare, but at that point in time, a lot of it's actually handled in a very heavy fashion by artificial intelligences, because they're able to locate and exploit weaknesses in the enemy defenses for their computer systems much faster and much more efficiently than humans poring over code, testing out various techniques and such to do that. Of course, I'm not necessarily an expert on, hacking or even computer science. I do have experience installing Linux and, writing code and all that fun stuff, but I would hardly say I'm a total world expert on that. So forgive me if I don't go into super amount of details on very bits of the specifics on things like that. Future wars, future warfare in that universe, in the time period I'm covering right now, guns are still your most effective means of, hurting people, as far as ground combat goes. But there is a lot of, artificial, artificial intelligence controlled machinery, either drones or tanks or whatever, as well as the same things also controlled remotely by people, because if you got an ace tanker, you don't necessarily want them to get killed if you only have a few of them. So you have them run a robot tank, and if that one gets exploded, just send out another one. Anywho, so there is a bit of that, and part of the cyber warfare is disrupting that communication signal. Because the tank might have its own artificial intelligence already sort of built in, but if but it isn't necessarily as good as the person with a joystick somewhere else. So it is sort of going all into the total warfare situation in that universe. Also, during these sparking off the lead up to and during these conflicts in the 2040s, 2050s time period there, the global economy is kind of in shambles, which I guess I probably didn't emphasize as much as a contributing factor to a lot of the conflicts, but it's sort of, we are kind of not able to do international trade because everyone's hostile to each other, and we're we're flailing at our own incompetence as far as handling our own economies, so things are kind of falling apart in those regards. So yeah, so that is a contributing factor, and international business kind of doesn't save the day because, well, they've lost all their money. Anywho, so that's some of the things about Stellar Renaissance. Again, I want to do one of those vids at least every other week. And it won't just be, short time periods like 3 or 4 years or even like just a couple decades. As I get further into the series, there'll be a few, bits where it's like, yes, and here's a whole century of stuff that happened, but, wasn't, major conflict between major powers or, some crazy invasion by aliens or something like that, it's like, well, things are just kind of progressing here, and not a lot of really kind of outstanding stuff happens, but who knows, maybe I'll change my mind on that. So we'll have to see how things go as they roll. And that also sort of a preview of sorts. Ooh, some sort of Spain appears. I have general things a bit fairly detailed out to like the 23rd century, and things kind of more, sparsely detailed out until like the 50th century. So there's a lot to potentially go through, though I'll probably have a cut-off as far as the timeline stuff goes in the to the mid 3000s or so, because that's when I eventually get to running that tabletop RPG sort of experience, it would be during the sort of that millennium. So there's a lot to go on yet, and also when I get done with the history side of the videos, I'll also be doing things like a little more in depth on this, that, the other things, as well as talking about technology, various cultures, peoples, everything like that, world building in general. And I might intersperse those a little bit with some of the sort of more historical presentations there. Anyway, so that's Stellar Renaissance. Schedule changes. You may have noticed the last couple weeks I've been doing CK2 4 times a week as opposed to 5. That's both in order to give me more time to work on the Stellar Renaissance stuff, as well as to prevent myself from being too burnt out for CK2. I enjoy the game, but with anything, including EU4 here, if I play too much of it, I start getting myself burned out, and I don't want to be doing that to you guys. I want to keep it interesting. I want to have my pep, my energy. Energy, science, energy, science. So I'll also keep up my general schedule of a late evening video. This one is kind of being that for today. The late evening video will generally be This Is the Police, and possibly a off-world trading company. Though I might take a short break from that to do play something else, probably something short, maybe not, and then get back to more off-world trading company, because though I suck at the game, I do kind of enjoy it. So sort of this frantic, oh my god, everything's happening simultaneously, and then we wait a few minutes, and then oh my god, everything's happening simultaneously. I'm really still surprised I managed to win out that first campaign, massively in debt, and I, looking back, I really could have done a lot of things more efficiently, but oh well. Anyway, so also EU4 streams. I have started up a new EU4 campaign with the Congo Conga, where we are playing Congo, these guys down here. And the main things we're trying to get is African power, which is to be playing Congo and have full control over Africa. And the Hoarder achievement as well, which is to get 13 fetish cults. I think I'm up to 10 right now. So that's pretty good. I just need 3 more. And I think at least 2 or 3 of them will be pretty easy to get once I do enough proper colonizing. Anywho, so that's sort of what that's going on. EU4 stream schedule, I'm still kind of just doing it whenever I have both the time and am not like distracted or not feeling well or something like that. Yeah, there's a little bit last week, kind of interrupted my attempted schedule there. I'm just like, stomach issues, whatever. Also, Kentucky, why are you looking like K00? That's not how you spell Kentucky. What else? All right, so beyond gaming, current events a little bit personal. I'm still sort of in the market for new work, job sort of things. Doing YouTube is fun, but I do also need to like start making money to pay bills and such. And this is great, but it's not quite enough unless you guys like dump a lot of stuff in my Patreon for some reason, which would be really awesome, guys. Go ahead and do it, please. But my fervent schedule right now of 2 or 3 videos most days might change if I'm suddenly working. So just sort of a heads up there, but we'll have to see that. See what happens there. Also, in things, I'm also, things beyond myself. Right now in the world, well, I'm kind of wondering if my Stellar Renaissance stuff is the bright future in comparison or the worst one, or the darker future. Because I originally designed it to be the darker future. Yeah, And if any of you guys are following me on Twitter, you probably kind of know my general positions on things. But I generally try to not bring too much real-world stuff into my channel of this stuff, but there does come a point where it's like, this is all kind of bullshit. Yeah. And, well, right now, a lot of the current events are, well, rather bullshit. Now that I have that off my chest, well, partially, I have been thinking about, like, starting another separate channel where I would be a little bit more, you could say, political. Spout more my own opinions, discuss current events, effectively have sort of a talk show sort of format, maybe? I don't know, like a podcasty type thing. Or maybe just where I like talk about, just the concepts that are being discussed in this day and age. And as we get close to the end of our timeline here, good old Spain is huge and large. And there we go, grabbing our little bit of Ethiopia and become the king of Gondar. A couple other things, personal-wise. I am, trying to work out more for my health and all that. That means my arms kind of hurt today. Been, mostly doing, like cardio exercise and such. But like the other day, we Maren Orstrom there. I picked up the weights yesterday. I'm like, well, it's been a while since I've lifted weights. Oh God, ow. No, I'm not like trying to hurt myself. I'm not trying to go push, like lift more than I know I can. But even just sort of doing, so many reps, reasonably low stuff. It's like, okay, I'm not used to this, so I need to sort of build myself up, and so I'm going to be trying to get my health in order a little bit further. I've been cutting out those who are long-time watchers of the channel. May have noticed that I'm less prone to drinking Powerades for streams or whatever, and there's kind of reasons for that. Don't want to like get diabetes when I'm this young still. I might be a bazillion years old, but I still have a zillion years to go. So, in other news, my older brother had a kid. Well, he and his lady friend there, and so I'm like uncle times I guess 5 now technically, unless you count stepkids, when that's even more. In that case, I don't actually remember the number. Things got complicated. Family members, marrying, getting divorced, getting married again, that sort of thing. So, depending on how you want to count that. So that's sort of, it's some of the stuff going on in my own personal life right now. If you guys as I finish things up here, yes, states. If you guys have any questions, comments, whatever, feel free to ask. And I will for sure at least get you answers as soon as I can. And if there's a ton of questions in general, especially going further as the channel grows and more people are curious about me, what's going on, then I'll have to start prioritizing people who are doing the Patreon thing. But not to say I don't love all you guys. You're all pretty sweet. Anything else on my list here? I think I hit up most of the stuff. Speaking of Patreon, I guess, I would like to thank Jeff, the hobo, for being my first Siege Pip General to, go ahead and give me the pledges. So, you rock, you're a cool guy. He's a friend of mine from internet cultures and gatherings and groupings and such. And yeah, so I will probably cut this off here. So, thank you very much for joining me. This has been DrIzixs. I'm not going to do my full spiel this time, but yeah, you guys rock. Keep being awesome. If you're going to battle, make sure to hold hands. It's dangerous out there. Till next, everybody. Turtles, woohoo!